Hey parents, happy Teenager Tuesday. I hope your January has started well, and I hope that your New Year's goals are still going strong.
Yes.
You know, we're towards the end of the month now, and Kira, with me, my name is Will. If we haven't met, with me is the one and only Kira Watson, formerly Touchberry. That was your maiden
A
name.
long time ago, yes. Hello.
Hello. Do you make New Year's goals?
I used to, and I am not super big on resolutions now. So
Okay.
I like that you said the word goal because
Okay.
that's kind of where I was going was like, I
Oh,
do
okay.
make goals for my
Yep.
year, but I don't like to call them resolutions because I feel like they never get done.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yes, I
That's
do
fair.
make goals.
I don't make any goals for the year until after January. And I do a kind of prayer fasting thing in January. And then I have more urgency. I got one less month to do it.
That's true.
Yeah. But I try to make like one or two big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of word of the year sometimes, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Depends.
Anyways, parents, we are talking. If you're an avid listener to this podcast, and always like it, share it. Whether there's a ton of people who listen to it from our church, and this is meant for parents of our church, but there's a lot of people outside of our church that listen to this as well. So wherever you're coming from, we hope that this is helpful for you. And months and months ago, we talked about a resource that we have started working on that we needed help on, that we wanted some parents, and we got a good response from that. We had parents that have been helping us work on this. We're taking our time to work on this as it pertains to social media, and it's called the Social Media License. And the whole idea is that we would give a resource that can be tailor-made for the flexibility of time, as well as like who the person is and who the family is and the dynamic and everything. But basically teaching your middle school, high schooler how to quote unquote drive, how to have a driver's license, but for social media. And so we're going to talk through today. We're going to talk about the intro that we have for that again parents have helped us with, and then next week we're going to talk about part one. And as we talk through this, if you would like to participate in our beta test and work on this with your teenager and give us feedback, we would love your help as well. Just email students@hopefellowship.net to get involved with us. So talking through the intro, the beginning of this is there's a couple points to it, but really it's just setting up the future conversations and what those conversations look like. It's trying to set expectations more than like set a time limit or a time goal. It's saying like, why are we doing this in the first place? Why me parent and you middle schooler, or me parent and you student, like why are we sitting down and talking through this in the first place instead of just me having one conversation and giving it to you? Like, let's talk through that big why before it. So Kira, what's point number one within this?
Point number one is healthy conversations. I think it's important for everyone to learn how to have healthy conversations about a variety of topics. And a lot of things that are controversial, social media being one of them, I think, just because everybody gets it at a different stage of life.
It's true. And it is this form of like self-expression.
Yes.
That's like, let me express myself.
Right.
This is my thing.
So you almost feel entitled to it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so the fact that this is a conversation and you're going into this saying, hey, I want us to talk about this, and I want us to have an ongoing conversation about social media and what it is and why you want to use it and what you're using it for, is going to really set you and your student and your family up for success if or when an issue arises. And so it's really about being proactive in all situations, but specifically in social media. We want to make sure that we're having healthy conversations about social media, but also healthy conversations while we're on social media. And so
and
that's
just in general, like how often I can't remember a time that I did this, but how often have parents sat down and said like, this is how to have a healthy conversation.
right.
Which it's not an exhaustive list, but Kira, we listed some ways that parents can have healthy conversations, or that people in general.
Yeah, people in general. Yeah. Active listening, paying close attention when people are talking to you, and, using your body language to show that you're engaging with them. Avoid assumptions. Don't just assume that someone means something based on what they say, especially if it's over a text or something that's not verbal. Summarize and validate. So if Will were to say something to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, so this is what you mean or this is what I hear you saying.
Yeah.
By what you mean. And validate them. Give space, allow the other person to express their thoughts and feelings without being interrupted and without you jumping to your own opinions, and be respectful. So those are just a few kind of guidelines that are surrounding healthy conversations.
Yeah. And again, it's before you have the conversation, I think it's good to talk about how you'll have the conversation when the conversation gets there.
Yeah.
Number two that's on the intro is the timeline is different for each person. And I like that better than I've seen parents say, when you're 16, you get social media.
Mm-hmm.
Because what if they're not ready? You know, because then you've already set the expectation of when you turn, then you'll get it. You know, when you turn this age. And it could be, and maybe not, but it could be a lose-lose situation, because what if they're not ready and you choose not to give it to them? Then it's a fight. But then if they're not ready and you give it to them, then there's a lot more worry, because there's going to be worry either way. But if you set the expectation early on, again, this is within this resource. If you want to be a part of working on this with us, it's not on the website yet, but so just shoot an email to students@hopefellowship.net. The phrase that we give inside of this resource is, for timeline, is when you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Is when you're ready, when you're out of my house, that you make your own decisions. But as far as you're under my care, I want to care the best that I can for you. And so the timeline is really when you're ready. It's not when other people have it. It's not when your other sibling has it.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Yeah, because the older sibling might get frustrated that the younger sibling
got it earlier
in the timeline of, I had to wait till I was 18. You gave it to them when they're 15. It's like, well, from my perception and in our conversations, I believe that they were ready.
Yeah.
Because it's just setting up that expectation better.
Yeah.
So early on, before we get to like the actually talking about social media, this kind of intro for today is just set expectations sooner rather than talking about the pitfalls, the good parts. Like, let's work on hammering out what expectations look like. Were you ever frustrated by unmet expectations from when you were growing up, your parents maybe said?
Oh yeah, I'm the youngest of 4. So being the youngest of 4, I watched all of my siblings get all of the things, be able to watch all of the shows that I wasn't allowed to watch. And it was just like, but you're watching it and I can't, and that's not fair. And so, yeah, absolutely.
I think I got more of that from my older siblings down, because my parents just got tired.
Yeah.
So I think I just got I got to do a lot more things sooner than they did, which is not necessarily a good thing either.
Yeah. It does go either way for sure. And so I think setting the expectation for your entire household of just when you're ready is such a good foundation.
Yeah, it's good. Well, you want to sign us off today, Kiera?
Yeah, absolutely. Parents, as always, we're here for you. You're not alone. God is with you, and so are we.